Greetings, everyone. I'm doing this a bit differently this night because, well, there's drama, correct? And I don't want this to be about drama. My hope is that we redirect people away from personal feelings and try to reconnect to logical, rational thought. All right. So the first point that I want to make is I want to revisit the Texas Roadhouse video, and I want to point out fact, not how you feel, not your emotions. Doesn't matter who you're friends with, just fact. All right. It is a fact that this picture on the left was a screenshot from a video that was taken at Texas Roadhouse within 12 hours of when Sebastian went missing. Period. Doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter who your friends are. It's just fact. We've seen the video. Nick the Hat released the actual Texas Roadhouse video. We saw it. Now, before it was released, SF Investigates is meddling around in this investigation. And he puts out 4 still shots of the Texas Roadhouse information. And the 4 screenshots are designed to ridicule and embarrass others who are, in fact, invested in searching for Sebastian. And the 4 photos were there to make fun of people who said, oh, maybe the Texas Roadhouse video has some sort of clues on it. Maybe something interesting happened at the Roadhouse. And so when SF Investigates and Katie Proudfoot, when they released those 4 still shots, they left Nick the Hat at night, the Dog the Bounty Hunter organization, left them no alternative but to keep everything factual. And that is when they released the video, the full video, so that we as intelligent, logical people can observe and witness and make our decision for ourselves. Is there something curious about the behavior of green hoodie guy or gal? You, Granny's watching, you have decided that you are friends with SF Investigates or others that are clearly in support of the Proudfoots, I suppose, because they have money. The fact is, look at the picture on the left. Just look at his shoulders. Nothing else, Granny. You don't have to look at anything but his shoulders. Look at his face. Look at his chin and his jawline. This is a young man who has definitely been in puberty for quite some time. He has skeletal changes, and he even has the muscle development that goes along with additional testosterone. Please compare it. We know the date of this. Granny's watching. We don't have to have anybody tell us when this happened. We know when it happened. We know. There's no doubt when it happened. Now look at that photograph. Look at the size of that kid. Look at the size of him, the size of his head in relation to Katie. You really believe that the photo that says optimism, you honestly think that photograph was taken the weekend before? I don't know how much you know about biology. It's not exactly how testosterone works. No, 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 no. Look at the photo on the left. Look at how long the bone is from his neck, right underneath his ear, out to the shoulder where the rotator cuff is. Look at how long it is. This is not a little boy. This is a young man who is developing the body of a grown-ass man. Look at the little kid in the right side photograph. That is a little kid who is not in puberty. Now then, that's super important because it brings out a critical question. You know damn well investigators are asking this. Granny Watching said on her channel, she said, the FBI chose the younger photos. Oh, please stop. Just quit. That's silly. That's nonsense. Because we know that Katie is the first one to provide photographs for the initial missing poster, Amber Alert and such. She provided the initial photographs. And then Seth, a week or so later, was like, why are you using photographs of him when he's so damn little and young? That's not what he looks like anymore. And Seth got the 2 photographs where he is older and in puberty and gives that, and they redo the missing persons flyer. That doesn't matter. That information, it doesn't matter if it comes from your friend or if it supports what your belief is. You just have to recognize these are facts, Granny's Watching. These are facts. They're not open to interpretation. They're facts. And if that is true, if Sebastian in the photograph on the left, where you can clearly see the wide shoulders, the maturing face, if that is true, then it leads us to a very troubling question. And that question is, Katie Proudfoot, why did you do this? When they asked for the newest photographs of your missing son, because that's how they said it. They said the most recent photographs. Why in the God's good name did you go backward a couple of years to pick photographs? What in the hell would make you do that? These facts, y'all. This isn't about a bunch of virtue signalers coming after the gossipers. That is not what this is about. This is about good common sense. This is about acting in good faith to find a missing kid or young man. This is about a mother who was motivated or not to find her child. That is the truth. You guys demonized Seth. You went after him with the most nonsensical, just crazy stories, just crazy. And you willingly, eagerly even just embrace Christopher and Katie Proudfoot like they're normal people. We have evidence, we have facts that they are not normal. There's nothing normal about what Katie Proudfoot has done since her child went missing. There's nothing normal about Christopher Proudfoot's behavior. Nothing. This is an extraordinary case. This is critical that the cops be able to get factual, accurate information from the very people who last saw Sebastian. So this is a fact. We know when this photograph was taken. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, we know, because it came off the video. When the waitress came over, I stopped the film and I took a screenshot, and that's the result. All right. Facts. Here's another fact. This is a little video, a little clip where Nick Wren is commenting on, why did that do that? Hold on. Where Nick Wren is commenting on SF Investigates, because the group of people that think that Seth is a bad dude and the good dude is Katie Proudfoot and Christopher Proudfoot, SF Investigate has leached on to Katie Proudfoot. He's now a parasite attached to the mother of this missing kid, and he's interfering in the proper investigation. I find it completely fascinating that this group of virtue signalers who believe that it is their role, because they have moral superiority, that it is their role to call out all the grifters, anyone covering this case that are making money from their commentary. I find it fascinating that these professional virtue signalers can't recognize that Steve Fisher is the worst grifter of all. He literally has infiltrated the family of a missing kid and did exactly the same thing with another missing teenager. He infiltrated the family of Kylie Rodney and did everything he could do to stop Nick Wren from finding Kylie Rodney. In fact, he was Nick, his group, they were told time and time again, we've already looked here. She's not here. The car's not here. We've all looked, all the professional divers, all the people associated with the sheriff's department, we've looked here and they're not here. You can just move on. There's another lake. Maybe she's there. And they said, but wait a minute. We know where the last ping was on her phone. We have to search here, even though we're being told the reality is that is the last known location of her phone ping. We've got to search there. And so they did, and really within minutes, they found Kylie. Why was SF Investigates and the local police doing everything they could to direct these searchers away from the last known location of Kylie's car? And why has Sebastian Rogers, the search for him, why has it had so many death threats and people interfering with people actually searching? Why does SF Investigates continue to show up in these really questionable roles? Listen to what Nick had to say about SF Investigate and whether he's an honest guy, if he tells the truth. Because Steve Fisher is not the guy that you want to attach your wagon to. I don't know why we're not making any noise.
Nick, the private investigator said that you guys took him into the trailer and shared the underwater footage with him. Is that true?
I don't remember him being invited into the trailer. If I remember right, there was only me,
Only law
one other
enforcement.
cameraman that had the footage on his laptop, and there was like 3, maybe 4 law enforcement agents, and they could have been from various agencies. And that private investigator guy, he was there with the dad and the grandpa.
Now take a good look at what SF Investigate looks like. Look at his body type. That's him, the gray buzz cut. This man in the plaid, that's Kylie Rodney's father, heartbreaking. What in the hell is SF Investigates standing there at that critical moment when they say, we found your daughter? After SF Investigates interfered and did everything he could, along with the local sheriff's department, to interfere with these guys diving in this area. Why? Why? Why is SF Investigates running up to Texas Roadhouse with Katie Proudfoot, freaking out and screaming at workers, demanding to see the video that was put out by Nick the Hat? What is his agenda?
And the only interaction that I had with him, he came up to me and he said, I got all my book from that trip right here. And I've actually got right here. So he came up to me and he thanked me for finding her and verifying that. And he opened up his wallet and he pulled out a business card and he handed me his business card right here. And he said, thank you. And he handed me that. And he said, when this all settles down, I'll see to it that you get your reward. And that was the last interaction I had with him.
Steve Fisher, you little pissant. What in God's name makes you think that you walk up to the very man that found this young woman through no help of you, and you give him your business card as if you're someone important in the area, and then you say, I'm going to make sure that you get paid? You little arrogant jerk off. What? And incidentally, they never got the reward. Okay. Steve Fisher absolutely turned the Kylie Rodney discovery into a shit show. Created complete and total confusion, chaos, bedlam.
So I don't remember him being in there to see any footage.
He also happened to claim that we used
What a snake. Such a
his drone footage, and we didn't. We had our own drone.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Oh, he's so important because he got drone footage. You dumbass. These divers, these professional divers, these guys making a living out of going around and finding missing people, lost cars and such. They have their drones, Stevie. They didn't need your piece of shit drone footage. What are you up to? What are you doing in Tennessee? Why in God's name, how in the world did you get connected to Katie Proudfoot? Are you going to suck the life out of her?
Once we had our own pilots.
Yeah, I never saw his.
Yeah, we have no idea what he's talking about.
Better pay attention, Katie Proudfoot, Christopher Proudfoot. And you know, I don't really necessarily care what happens to you. I don't believe the stories that you've told about what happened that night. I find them illogical. But I can tell you this, of all the people on YouTube, social media, in the true crime genre, Steve Fisher would be the last sorry son of a bitch that I would hitch my wagon to. You may think that he's different and he's smart and he doesn't do any of this for money. No, he's coming for whatever you got, Christopher Proudfoot. That might include Katie, actually. You want some advice from someone who definitely doesn't think that she can get anything out of you guys? I would stay far away from this very, very questionable man. What the hell is he doing there? Why does he even have an interest in Sebastian? And is he really promoting the search for Sebastian? Or is he actually interfering? Because he sort of looks like he's interfering when we look at this next group of photographs. All right. Okay, so here were the photographs I told you about originally that the idiot, liar, obstructor, Steve Fisher put out. He put out these 4 pictures, and it was with this commentary saying, you know, oh, wow, there's really so much happening here. It only took, 18 seconds. I don't remember if it was 18 seconds. How long was it? Maybe it was 20 seconds for Katie and Sebastian to walk out of the restaurant, get in their car. Nothing strange happening here. Nick the Hat is making up, mountain out of a molehill. It's not real. There's nothing curious happening in the parking lot. So he puts out this highly, 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 highly misleading propaganda. So, Stevie boy, still up to your old tricks, aren't you? Still doing the same old, interfering rather than actually trying to establish real information that could be useful to the parents of Sebastian Rogers. So the next thing I want to look at is the actual video of Texas Roadhouse. So I got to move this picture. Hold on just a minute. Okay. So here's the actual video, which, remember, Steve Fisher put out the pictures, the 4 pictures. Hold on. Let me see if I got it over here. I may have to put up a different video. Yep, I got to put up a different video. Okay. SF Investigates actually put out the 4 pictures that were designed to teach me and you that nothing was happening in this parking lot, that there was nothing unusual about the encounter with the green hoodie person when Sebastian and his mom left Texas Roadhouse. This came out first. Then Nick the Hat said, well, we got to set the record straight because they're really misleading people. They're lying to people about what is actually in the video. And so at that point, then we ended up getting this video footage that shows Katie and Sebastian leaving Texas Roadhouse, going to the car, and having the encounter with the green hoodie person. And I want you to remember this, okay? I want you to remember SF Investigates, Steve Fisher, he puts out the 4 photographs making fun of everyone, calling them conspiracy theorists, attacking Nick the Hat and At Night personnel, saying there's nothing to see here. They're lying to you guys. They're gaslighting. They're misleading you. This was a very normal, just boring encounter. Nothing to see here. And it was only at that point, because they were misleading the public. They were lying to me and you. Granny's watching. They're lying to you. You're being lied to, Granny. So Nick the Hat, At Night, they put this out to let me and you, Granny, let us judge whether we can logically see there may be something happening here that may be out of the ordinary. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. I don't know, but I definitely recognize that this was not ordinary. This was not what was presented by SF Investigates. The dude is a big, fat, gaslighting liar. He's full of shit. And Christopher Proudfoot, he is a parasite that has latched on to your life. Sounds like to me, let me make this crystal clear, Christopher. Sounds like to me it's time for you to man up. Better get up there and protect your wife. Take control of this situation or something bad happens, because when SF Investigates is around, factual stories don't seem to get told accurately. So here is what really happened, not letting SF Investigate gaslight us and mislead us, but to actually really make our own judgment what we are looking at when we look at this video, okay? And if you look up here, you'll see the gold coat dude come out, and it looks like Katie and Sebastian come out right behind him. It doesn't mean they're together. Many times I've walked out of a restaurant along with someone at the same time, but we're not together. You see a boy who is clearly in puberty, not a little 9 or 10-year-old with teeny tiny little shoulders. Look at the size of him. And there is Katie right there. Now, start paying attention to Sebastian right here. He sees something in between his car and the other car, where his mother has already started walking in between the two cars. Something there has really got his attention. At one point, he's even crossing his feet over so he doesn't turn away from the commotion. He's keeping an eye on the commotion. There's something happening. And Katie doesn't show not an ounce of hesitation. She walked right up to the dude or woman who's standing in between these two cars. Remember, we're watching this to see if SF Investigates is full of shit in telling us, oh, nothing happened here. They just walked outside and popped in the car and off they went. Nothing. It's a nothing burger here. Nothing happened. Nothing out of the ordinary. All right. Keep an eye on Sebastian. He's still watching whatever the hell is happening between the two cars. And his mom now has walked right up to the green hoodie dude and is now face to face. Oh gosh, I wonder if Sebastian is going to just do what you and I do, SF Investigates. When we walk up to a car door, don't we open the damn door and get in? Oh, well, for some reason, Sebastian didn't. Because he was too busy looking at whomever was over there talking to his mom. Now, we'll watch this a couple of times so you can look at all the different people. But let's leave Sebastian for a moment, because he's just going to stand there not getting into the car. Okay? Granny's watching. Look at the dude in the black hat, the bottom left corner. Watch him and tell me that he is not also intrigued by whatever it is that Sebastian is intrigued by. That Katie is standing toe to toe with the green hoodie dude between the two cars. Well, why are they staring at them? Was the guy yelling? Was there an altercation? What the hell was happening? We don't know that answer. But the point of what I'm making is SF Investigates made fun of you and gaslighted you by telling you nothing happened here out of the ordinary. I'm proving to you that it was so much out of the ordinary that not only did Sebastian stand outside of the car watching whatever was going on between his mom and the green hoodie, but so did most other people that were standing nearby. Watch the dude in the black hat if you don't believe me. There he goes, walking along. Oh, he sees something. My goodness. And look at the gold coat dude. Now he too has turned around to look at Katie Proudfoot and the green hoodie dude. Now they're both looking. Let's see if they just go ahead and go on into the workers' entrance. Both staring. Sebastian's still staring. Oh, I guess the black hat dude is going to go on in and start his shift, isn't he? Must not have been much of a commotion, Stevie. Uh-oh. Golly, Steve, look at there. He did not go in, did he? That is very interesting. Wonder why. Because nothing was happening, Mr. Fisher? Because it was a boring everyday event in the parking lot. That's why this man watched what was going on with Katie Proudfoot all the way over to the employee's door, started to go into the building and decided he better keep an eye out. And the dude in the gold coat is also turned around watching whatever in the hell it is that Sebastian is watching. I don't know how much more you need to be able to say with a clear conscience, you know, I think Steve Fisher may be a fucking liar. Gosh, imagine that. Why in the world would Steve Fisher want to mislead all of us that nothing happened? Because according to all these uninvolved people, something happened. And finally, here comes that big old gut. Look at that big old gut wearing the green hoodie that says U.S. Marine Corps. Isn't that interesting? And as green hoodie, big gut Marine Corps walks away, Sebastian gets in the car. It kind of tells me that he was watching the big gutted, green hoodie wearing U.S. Marine Corps nonsense. There's that tummy. Woo, he's got him a big old stomach. Now here comes Katie. And we know the hoodie dude is right there. There's his hand. You see his hand right there? Looks like a man's hand, not a woman's hand, but I could be wrong about that. But there's his hand. He's already talking to Katie before she doesn't hesitate. She does not hesitate. She does, in fact, walk right up in between the two cars without hesitation, which tells me she knew the person. Also, Kelly Powell and other virtue signalers of America, please take note that in the dash, the front window of the car that Katie is driving, she actually has a handicap placard hanging from her rearview mirror. Now, aside from that making her a fraud, that she would use a placard to take up a handicapped parking spot in a very, very busy restaurant when she doesn't need a handicap spot, that just makes her a piece of shit fraudster. She took a very important parking spot that someone else with a wheelchair may have actually needed. But that's another story, isn't it? But for those of you saying, oh, how do you know? Maybe the man was yelling at her because she parked in a handicapped parking spot. Okay, well, why would he yell? There's a placard hanging there. Okay, I get it. The thoughts that you're having seem logical, but they're easily followed up on to realize, no, that doesn't fit here. There is an ultimate fact. The fact is the green hoodie U.S. Marine Corps big gut is standing in between these two vehicles. Katie and Sebastian see him. Sebastian refuses to take his eyes off of him and does not even get in the car. And Katie does not shy away. She's not shocked by him being there. He doesn't pop up out of nowhere and say, boo, Katie. He's there. You can see his hand. And here is Katie right here. And there's Katie's hand right here. She is speaking to him. She did not hesitate to step off the curb and get in between the two cars with the guy in the green hoodie. But Sebastian was very nervous. And the guy in the black cap was also on alert. And the guy in the gold was really watching and going, wow, wonder what that's all about. That looks real interesting. But you go on and you keep on denying reality. You keep on telling yourself that a man having 7 CPS cases opened up against him across at least 2 states concerning at least 2 children, you go ahead like a big old fat dumbass and convince yourself that there's nothing strange about that. That Christopher and Katie Proudfoot are just as normal as they can be, and it is Seth that has the problem. Seth's not the one lying to you, Granny. Your little friend, SF Investigates, he's the big fat liar. Wonder if he's got a green hoodie. Look at Sebastian. Oh, look at that neck. That neck, that is really something, actually. I mean, wow. You look at that picture of him wearing the yellow optimism sweatshirt. Look at this kid's shoulders. Look at his shoulders. Look at his back. That is really a lot of growing, Granny, for 7 days. This video, this we know the actual timing of. This right here, that teenager that you're looking at, that young man who has been through puberty, this is the kid that went missing. Not the little boy with the goofy grin. He did not go missing. This kid, a big boy, he went missing. But you keep on being friends with SF Investigates. You keep believing that known liar, and don't show any interest why he wants to mislead you. You just keep on just blindly following him. Don't let your logic, don't let your the things that you can verify as facts, don't let evidence distract you, grannies watching. Stay focused on what matters, and that is to attack Seth and to support Christopher Proudfoot. That's what you really want to do, and you're not going to let anything small and inconsequential like facts mess you up, are you? Look at his back. Look at his neck. That kid is not the same kid that was wearing the optimism shirt. The kid that was wearing the optimism shirt, that was like 2-3 years ago. And it was Katie, just like you said, it was Katie that provided those photographs of Sebastian when he was a little boy. But the guy that disappeared that night after Texas Roadhouse was this guy, a teenager who had already been through puberty. And this is Katie over here, still having this conversation, interaction with Green Hoodie Dude. I mean, I don't know how you can deny this. SF Investigates is a liar. He told us nothing special happened. It was nothing unusual. And Nick the Hat at night put out the real video, and now we can see this was anything but normal. There was a ruckus that attracted an audience. And if you try to deny that, Granny, you look stupid because it's right here. Your eyes can discern it. And they just push past. She looks like she's hugging him. And there is that big old fat stomach. See that tummy right there? Woo-wee! Woo, doggies! What do you say, Steve? Does that look like a bunch of fried chicken to you? Oh, no, it's not fried chicken, is it? How silly of me. That's some good old-fashioned Budweiser, ain't it? Yep. Drinking you some Budweiser, Steve Fisher. Get you the big old round belly like old Maria dude. Golly, that is a serious stomach. Look at that. That is very interesting. You know, I heard some people say that actually Steve Fisher does have some green hoodies, actually. There's a lot of photographs and videos that were taken during the whole Collie Rodney circus. It's been a lot of people have been real busy going through that stuff, you know? Would that be just crazy if someone turned over a photo of a green hoodie U.S. Marine Corps that had Steve Fisher's belly in it? Whew, that would be Christopher Proudfoot. Dude, let me be crystal clear here, buddy. You got a problem in the Proudfoot kingdom. You got to get your woman under control, Christopher. She may be leading you down the primrose path right before she and that big, beautiful belly in the green hoodie are about to fly the coop. roll off into the sunset together, so to speak. I don't know, Christopher. Of all the people involved in this case, I don't think I'd want my bride running around with Steve Fisher, but I could be wrong. Look at that. Isn't that something? I mean, that body structure, that is very interesting considering, you know, the picture, like when they found Kylie Rodney and her dad is, you know, looking up at the sky. That was interesting body shape. Like, kind of like the green hoodie guy, don't you think? Oh my goodness, look at that. That is fascinating, people. Really, really fascinating. We're just going to have to wait. We're just going to have to keep our eyes out for that photograph. I heard there is one. I heard there's a green hoodie photograph from the Kylie Rodney thing. And you know who's wearing it. I think I see a watch. You'll see a watch right there. That is very interesting, isn't it? Uh-huh. Super, super interesting. Look at them all looking. Look at them. SF investigates. You little liar. Why are you telling us that there was nothing to see here? Everybody's looking. And you know what I bet, Stevie? I'd be willing to bet $100 that law enforcement has already interviewed these two dudes. I wonder if law enforcement needs to take some fingerprints off of the Katie's side of the car. Maybe match them up to say everybody that's being friends with Katie right now, including SF. Maybe that would be a good investigative tool, Sumner County Sheriff's Department. Take the fingerprints off of Katie's driver's side of the car and then compare them to all the searchers and people that have been supporting the Proudfoots and the Bowersocks. That might be really interesting. Still looking, still looking, still looking, still looking. Oh, look, big belly, U.S. Marine Corps, green hoodies, walking away. And now Sebastian gets in the car and the guy in the black cap is getting to work. Very interesting. And it kind of looks like the guy, the green hoodie guy, is wearing sandals, doesn't it? See those sandals with socks? That is a very California-esque fashion statement. I mean, dudes in Tennessee, Texas, Louisiana, they don't dress like that. Like, they either wear the boots or they wear their hiking shoes or tennis shoes. The sandals with the socks, I don't know about you, but that screams California to me. You know what I mean? It's pretty curious how, you know, we got here. The Sebastian Rogers case has been so complicated and it's had so many has had so many different chapters written into it, you know? And it's like now with the footage from the parking lot, even though we had SF try and gaslight the hell out of us and tell us nothing to see here, tubers, move along. Nothing interesting happening out in the parking lot at all. Well, now we see actually there was some quite interesting things happening. And in fact, the people that worked there at Texas Roadhouse, they also found it to be incredibly interesting. Whatever was happening with Katie's side of the car, green hoodie gut, Sebastian stopped to watch it. The guy in the gold coat stopped to watch it. And the employee in the black hat, he stopped himself from going into the building and actually turned around and watched as if he may have to call the police. And so, you know, Steve Fisher, I'm curious, buddy. What's wrong with you? Why are you misleading and lying and interfering with this investigation in the same way that you interfered in the recovery of Kylie Rodney? All right. Now you can hear me. I got the information out there that I wanted to get out. I think that it is a very real consideration why it is that SF Investigate comes out, releases these 4 photographs, and uses that to make fun of everyone, to say that we're foolish to believe that there's anything interesting happening in the parking lot. And then as a result of that, at night, Nick the Hat, he turns around to release the actual true video. And once we see the actual true video, what do we find out? It is 100% a disturbance happening in the parking lot that was directly involving Katie, and that Sebastian watched, as well as the 2 other men, and it lasted for quite some time. Correct? And I think that's what we have to do. I think because there seems to be people who want to mislead and send us into another reality, I think we have to be very careful to try and find out and see what part of this that we're hearing about is real, it's facts, and what part of messaging is really coming from people who are just not telling the truth. And remember what Nick said, SF investigator, he lied during the Kylie Rodney case as well. So this is consistent behavior for him. This is a pattern of behavior. He grifts his way in to these families that have lost a kid, young person, and then he interferes with the investigation by just putting out nonsensical fiction. And I think we have to remember that. I think we need to be very careful to try to keep a handle on what is this that we're listening to that is fact, and what of this that we're listening to is nonsense. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. You're awesome and wonderful. I appreciate you so much, and I will return. Talk to you later. Bye.